Hey, how are you, family? Welcome back to my channel, the channel where ethical boundaries have already been breached. And with the case of HAHARI HANAZONO, the mommy of the Rindo Kanajo family, the Rindo family for that matter, in the series Rindo Kanajo or Hyakano, well, one way or another, we can say that she's not only just a ball or a source of itchiness or lewdness, but also a caring person. He is a character from the Hara manga series, Hyakano, or the 100 Girlfriends Who Really Love You. If you don't know what that series is, please do check it out. I've made a lot of videos talking about that series in my channel. So yeah, if you're interested in those, please do subscribe, be part of the family. So without further ado, let's get into the video, right? The presentation, I mean. Transition, right? Now, HAHARI as a character, we first got to know her, or we get to see her being this sort of dignified and serious person. But then, after many, after that whole conflict in that arc rather, when she was introduced, well, she turned into someone like this. And I guess this is a major improvement in one way or another, but it does add a nice flair to the whole harem aspect of this series. But yeah, yet again, there's still some questionable things that come with this, and I'm gonna be discussing that right now. Now, questionable things because not only is it because she is a mother from her name itself, HAHARI, the haha part means mother. So yeah, aside from her status of being a mother, she's actually already the mother of HAHARI, and HAHARI is the daughter being already who's already dating Rentaro. So essentially, this whole concept is like Rentaro dates both mother and daughter. It's insane. When I first saw this moment in the series, the scene rather, when the zing happened. The zing is like when Rentaro locks eyes with another partner, and if there's a zing, then it's an indicator that she is a soulmate. And from the plot of the series, Rentaro needs to save these soulmates in order to save them. He needs to date them in order to save them. It's kind of like Date Alive, but it has its own nice unique twist to it, and delivery as well. Now, Rentaro dating mother and daughter. At one side of the spectrum, I was like, yeah, woo! That's it. This is what I'm talking about. But on the other end, yes, it broke morality, it broke ethics. It's insane. But this very scene really, like, it really was an opener for me to let me know that, anything can happen in this manga. At this point, anything can happen. I was surprised, no, not surprised. I was considering that possibilities like this would happen, but yeah, it did happen. It will happen. And I also believe that it has something to do with the very structure of how 100 Girlfriends would be, right? Because at the source of, or at the name from the title of the series itself, the 100 Girlfriends Who Really Love You. 100 Girlfriends, it's not just gonna be all high school students or something like that around his age. Of course, you're also gonna have to consider a lot of varieties of different waifus, different character designs with different tropes, who follow different traits and all that, and mother being one of them. Who knew? And if you're an avid fan of the series, if you've read through enough chapters, you're gonna know just how far it's gonna go. Well, yeah, at least at this point in time, it's not much, but I feel with the lineup of family members, girlfriends that they have in the Rindo family, I'm convinced that really, anything, I'm just gonna accept anything. I'm gonna accept anyone, and that is Rentero's real, sort of motive, to accept the girlfriends and really choose to genuinely love them and save them as well. But saving comes with loving, so there you go. Now, the whole conflict of this arc, right? It's the arc when HAHARI, the daughter, was forbidden to go out and see Rentaro. and they found out that Hahari was the cause of all that. So Rentaro and Karane, Shizuka, Nano, and Kusuri went out to the Hanazono estate and tried to get Hahari back because they want her back. They need her back. They love her for who she is, despite her etchy comings in the series, but it's still part of her charm. They come to really, be thankful for all that she's done, and she really does. They really do want her back. Now, when they got to the part when Rentaro met up with Hahari, at that time there was no zing yet, right? There was no zing yet because of something that was blocking his eyesight to fully see Hahari. But in that confrontation, Hahari gave her backstory as to her backstory, right? And it's quite sad, really. And the chapters that followed after that, the resolution to how she felt, it's so impactful, it's so emotional, and it makes you really tear up. Now, Hahari Hahari gave birth to Hahari when she was just 13 years old, middle school. And that was because the person who she loved at that time, right, she fell in love with a person who had a disease, an illness, and unfortunately, he passed away. So, in order for her to leave behind a legacy, or in order for her to leave a part of him alive, then Hahari decided to, get herself impregnated with the genes of that person who passed away, and thus gave birth to Hahari. And it was tough for her, it was tough for Hahari to become a mother at that age, to have a lot of responsibilities, but she was happy, to the very, she really is happy to have a healthy daughter and to see her grow up to be who she is today. But the problem lies within the conflict of her happiness, because she has this sort of grief moment where she questions herself whether this life of hers is truly one that she can count, or she can really experience as a genuinely happy moment. She is grateful for Hahari. She does really love her with all her heart, but at one side, because of the loss of her loved one, the loss of her husband who passed away, she has this sort of void that made her really unhappy. And yeah, it really is sad. Rentaro even cried. It's touching. But then comes the part when Rentaro's vision was starting to become clearer. He locked eyes with her, and then she, just like mother like daughter, got blind struck and fell in love with Rentaro, straight up asking him out at the get-go. Karane's reaction was just gold, perfect. I love it. Well done as well, Yukiko Sensei, for really portraying the insanity of it while also trying to, insert that whole comedic bit with Karane. It's genius. I love it. So yeah, Hahari confessed to Rentaro, and the whole problem with her allowing Rentaro to date Hahari is, she wants to make sure that Hahari herself won't fall into the same, or won't fall into the same problem, or won't have the sort of experience the same sadness that she felt when she was young and she was blindly in love with this person. Because at one point, who knows if Rentaro would die, which we know he can't. If the loved one of Hahari died, then Hahari would be so sad, and it would lead her to all of these distresses in her life, and eventually unhappiness. And as a mother, I completely understand. No, as a mother, I understand her intention. I'm not saying my mother. As a mother, as a son, I completely understand her intention. because we all know that mothers would always do something to protect their kids, right? It's what parents do, and especially towards having HAHARI not experience all that sadness, ever more so that HAHARI would do everything it takes to ensure that she is happy, but she's not, because I was about to say a joke about Rentaro not dying or is unable to die, but HAHARI really does love Rentaro. It's a Sherlock soulmate partner collusion between the two of them, and they really do love each other. They need each other, and of course this goes to all members in the Rentaro family. Now, with that being said, where was I? HAHARI was confessed to Rentaro. She was still she is doubtful about Rentaro's power, with his capabilities rather, into entrusting HAHARI to him, because he, who knows, he might also go away, something like that. But yeah, bottom line is that she is trying to really know the resolve of Rentaro, if she really does love and cherish HAHARI. And a great example, or a brilliant proof, just fell into Rentaro's hands. The next scenes, when HAHARI jumped on a building, Rentaro came after her. He saved her. They fell to the pool. Karane slaps HAHARI. They cry. They had a moment. It was beautiful. Then at that moment, HAHARI realized that Rentaro really is telling the truth, really is devoted, and really risks his life for HAHARI, the daughter. And that moment, she became certain that I can entrust my my daughter's future and happiness to Rentaro, to Rentaro. But then Rentaro, being the child that he is, he's all like, I also wanted to fill the void in your heart. I also wanted you to experience the same genuine happiness like your own daughter, and you deserve to be happy as well. You've done a great job. I want you to become happy. Hugs, kisses, boom, they're a couple. Now, that's all good, right? That's all good and all, but of course, considering the fan service bit that came later on, what really struck me as something powerful between this resolution of a conflict is the ordeal with the passed away father of HAHARI. Now, Rentaro confirms that he really wants to let HAHARI become free, something along the lines of breaking the shackles of her passed away husband, because deep in her heart she does love her husband. She still has feelings for him. But Rentaro, she might be afraid, or she might have doubts that maybe I won't really give as much love, or can I really give much love to both Rentaro and the passed away father? No, I mean yes, but wait, how do I phrase this? Rentaro said yes. There's nothing wrong with loving both your passed away husband and me at the same time, because it's you're free to do whatever you want. The point is that you don't have to be bound by having the thoughts of your husband weighing you down. She is free to love again, to become happy again, and to question whether this sort of love is genuine. It is there, it is there, and she becomes really adherent to that whole idea. And so HAHARI, finally accepting Rentaro, finally accepting that her late husband has already passed away. That's all right. That's all. That's all good. That's all been settled, clear. Then after that, the moment when after that, there was a moment when Rentaro went out and he saw the ghost of the passed away father, right? And it's just so beautiful, really. I'm not gonna spoil too much about it, but all I can say is that because of that interaction, that whole, you know, you're already now that whole confirmation that the father-in-law, but yeah, technically Torrentero is father-in-law, but the husband of Hahari really does accept Rentaro as well, and allowing he is giving Rentaro also a part of the responsibility to make Hahari happy. And I'm just gonna stop it there, because for those who haven't read it, I really, you know, it's a really powerful moment to, you know, to witness, to read in this series. So with all the mushiness already gone out, so we know that Hahari is already now, you know, in love, really wants to experience happiness with Rentaro and the rest of the Rentero's family, while also really having affection for his late husband. So Hahari's state right now, of course, she is in love with Rentaro, and the way she acts towards, or the way she really 180s her whole character trait is just wow, really. So yeah, you have here the mother-daughter dream team, when they're like mother like daughter, giving away the whole lechiness vibe. It's really strong. It's really strong. In one way or another, they truly are like mother and daughter, you know, which they are. They are mother and daughter. And the thing about them is that I absolutely love it. At the side of Hahari, it's all about her appeal and her methods in trying to seduce Rentaro, and a lot of other things that she would bicker towards other elements of the story. Then you have also Hahari, who is essentially the, you know, a really huge source of that etchiness, of that pervy vibe. But yeah, essentially that's what you would get. This actually made me, you know already. Like, it made me already have this idea that Hahari is this type of person. She's the type of person who would be at sometimes etchy, at sometimes heartwarming as well, but mostly etchy. Especially a lot of times in the series when she really goes through with that whole personality trait of hers. You have also the mother Rentaro dream team. Rentaro and Hahari, almost two of a kind, you know, two peas in a pod, is that what it's called? But their whole idea, or that whole moment when they both really adore the things, like adore the cuteness that surges throughout the Rentaro family members, the girlfriends, and they're really in sync, you know. It's really, they're really in sync, and I absolutely love it. You know, it's like they're not even, you know, you often forget that she is a mother. Well, with her character figure definitely is, but the way she acts, the way she plays, the way she is at this manga series, it's so fun and playful. A really good addition to the family. But of course, this doesn't mean that both of their thoughts are the same. Rentero's, yes, he wants that, you know, that whole wholesome, that whole respecting chadness to him. But then you also have Hahari, who wants to go for the more mature side of things in their relationship. But nevertheless, Rentaro does stick to it. And that whole idea of going to a lot of mature things and a lot of really funny moments where she might she quote unquote acts as a disgrace to the family, and she gets knocked down by her own daughter, who also feels embarrassed, and Karane as well. It's just so funny. I love it. I'm kind of going really subjective about this, or really just, you know, BSing all of my words, but you know, it's hard to really explain just how much enjoyable Hahari is in the series. You know, it's really funny. Yeah, another trait that I love about her, snap shooter, like they call it. Sorry for the bad pun. When she would whip out her camera, snap pictures of whatever your vacation happens, or even other moments with Rentaro or the rest of the family. That sort of bit, it's absolutely funny, hilarious, and it goes to show a lot of her personality, especially when she drools like a waterfall. I love it! I love it! It's so weird to see that this sort of image, that considering her position, right? Considering her age, right? Or the whole character that she's supposed to be, but then you have the itchiness is overflowing. It's overflowing so much, and I love it. But despite all of the perviness, the the unseriousness that just transitioned into, or the insanity of her being her, well, yeah, Hahari at her core, she really is a loving person. She is Mother Earth. That sense of maternal instinct, if that's what it's called, it really, it may not be it may not be seen, but through her actions, she really does, she really does act like a mother figure, a role model to the rest of the family. I guess role model is kind of a weird way to phrase it, considering she is literally supposed to not be, or her girl character is the opposite of what a the usual sort of motherly type would go for. But no, Hahari, she, despite all it, she is still a wonderful person. That's where I'm getting at, simply that. And in conclusion, really, Hahari, bearing a lot of responsibility and a lot of, who has gone through a lot of hardships, she merely wants the best for her daughter and the rest of the Rentaro family as well, and Rentaro himself included, and it's nice. So what I'm trying to say is that she is a great mother, despite being her. But she is good, don't get me wrong.